Welcome to Numismatic Vault, the channel where coins aren't just spare change, they're hidden treasures waiting to be found. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable Washington quarters. Some of these coins are worth far more than you'd ever imagine, and the best part, they could be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. So get ready, because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your change in a whole new way. Top 1, we're diving into the story of the Washington quarter from 1993, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries with it fascinating details, surprising errors, and in rare cases, an incredible value. The Washington quarter has been a fixture of American currency since 1932, first introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, this coin has gone through changes in design, metal composition, and minting techniques. By 1993, the quarter had already cemented its place as one of the most widely recognized and circulated coins in the United States. Millions were struck that year at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but not all of them were created equal, and that's where collectors get excited. Let's begin with the design. On the obverse, you'll see the profile of George Washington, sculpted with the classic details we all know. Above him, the word Liberty stands proudly, and to his left is the phrase "In God We Trust." Below, the date 1993 anchors the coin. On the reverse is the heraldic eagle design, wings outstretched, clutching arrows and olive branches, with the inscription United States of America and E Pluribus Unum. This design carried the quarter through decades of American life before the state quarters program began in 1999, making the 1993 issue one of the last years of the traditional eagle reverse. But as collectors know, it isn't just the design that makes a coin valuable. It's the rarity, the condition, and the unexpected errors that can slip through during minting. With the 1993 quarter, several types of minting errors have been reported. Some examples feature doubling on the lettering or numbers, known as a double die error. Others have off-center strikes, where the entire design is shifted and leaves part of the coin blank. There are also broad strikes, which cause the coin to appear larger and distorted because it was struck without the restraining collar. Even more exciting are coins missing their clad layer, exposing the copper core and creating a striking two-tone appearance. These errors are what collectors love, because they transform an ordinary coin into something truly unique. And since errors are often produced in small numbers, they carry tremendous value in the market. Condition is another major factor. Most 1993 quarters have been circulating for over 3 decades, and many show heavy wear. Coins like these usually don't command any special value. But those that were carefully preserved or graded at the highest mint state levels can be worth hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. When you combine pristine condition with a dramatic error, you've got the kind of coin that can fetch staggering amounts at auctions and from serious collectors. Another detail that makes the 1993 Washington quarter intriguing is its place in history. Just a few years later, the long-standing eagle reverse would be replaced by the rotating designs of the 50-state quarters program. That means the 1993 issue belongs to the final chapter of a design that had been a staple of American currency for over 60 years. For collectors who appreciate not just rarity but also historical transitions, this coin carries an added layer of significance. So, the next time you're sorting through old change, coin rolls, or perhaps a forgotten jar tucked away in a drawer, pay close attention to those Washington quarters from the early 1990s. Look for sharp details, strong strikes, and especially unusual features that could signal an error coin. You might just be holding a small piece of metal that's worth far more than 25 cents, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. While most examples of the 1993 Washington quarter remain common, the rarest pieces, those in perfect condition or featuring dramatic minting errors, have been known to reach a value of $82,000, yes, $82,000 for a single quarter. That's the magic of coin collecting, where history, rarity, and a little bit of luck combine to create treasures hiding in plain sight. Top 2, we are going to dive into the world of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1994. This may seem like an ordinary coin that you might find in your change, but trust me, the story of this quarter is far from ordinary. Collectors all over the world are constantly on the hunt for certain examples of this coin, and by the end of this video you'll understand why the 1994 Washington quarter can be worth far more than its face value. Let's begin with the design. On the front side, the obverse, we see the familiar and powerful image of George Washington. This portrait has been a part of U.S. coinage since 1932, created to honor the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Above his head is the bold word Liberty, a reminder of the ideals upon which the country was founded. To the left of his profile sits the national motto "In God We Trust," and just below his neck you will find the year 1994. For decades this design has stood as one of the most iconic images in American coinage, making every Washington quarter a symbol of history and heritage. Flip the coin over and you're greeted by the classic eagle reverse, which had been used for many years before being replaced in 1999 by the state quarters program. The eagle spreads its wings wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows, representing strength and readiness to defend the nation, while an olive branch lies below, symbolizing peace. The inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum remind us of the unity of the states, while quarter dollar proudly marks its value. This design was on the last stretch of its life in 1994, making coins from this period some of the final issues before a completely new era of quarter designs began. Now let's talk about what makes this particular year special for collectors. Millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1994 at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. While most of these are common, certain rare errors and high-grade examples have turned ordinary-looking quarters into treasures worth thousands. Among the most desirable errors are double die coins, where letters or details appear to have a shadow or doubling effect. Collectors especially check the motto or the eagle's feathers for signs of doubling. Another rare error is the off-center strike, where the design is struck noticeably away from the center of the planchet, leaving part of the coin blank. These errors can be small or dramatic, but the more misaligned the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Missing clad layer errors also appear from time to time, where one of the outer nickel layers is absent, leaving a coppery surface visible. This striking color contrast makes them instantly eye-catching and highly collectible. Condition plays one of the biggest roles in determining value. The vast majority of 1994 quarters have been circulated heavily, so they show scratches, dullness, and general wear. But uncirculated coins, which have never been used in daily transactions, can shine with their original mint luster. A quarter graded at the very top levels, such as MS 67 or higher, is extremely difficult to find and commands big prices when offered at auctions. The rarity of flawless condition adds just as much value as minting errors. Proof coins also deserve attention. In 1994 the San Francisco Mint produced proof quarters with mirror-like fields and frosted details, specifically for collectors. These coins were never meant for circulation and are usually found in excellent condition. Deep cameo proofs, which display strong contrast, are especially appealing and can fetch impressive sums when perfectly preserved. What makes the 1994 quarter even more interesting is its place in time. This coin sits right before the massive change of the state quarter program, which started in 1999 and completely reshaped modern collecting. That means the 1994 issue belongs to the last generation of traditional eagleback quarters, making it a piece of history as well as a collectible. For many collectors, owning one is not only about the value but also about holding on to the legacy of American coinage before its modern transformation. Collectors are drawn to these coins because of the thrill of discovery. Imagine finding a rare double die or missing clad layer coin in your change, or pulling an uncirculated gem from a roll that had been stored away for years. The possibility that something so small could hold enormous value is what makes the hobby exciting and keeps people searching. And now for the part you've been waiting for. While most 1994 Washington quarters are worth only 25 cents, the rarest examples, those with dramatic minting errors or graded in the highest uncirculated condition, have been known to reach as much as $80,000, yes, $80,000 for a single quarter. So the next time you come across a Washington quarter from 1994, take a closer look. You may just be holding a piece of history that could change your collection forever. Top 3. We're shining the spotlight on a state quarter that not only represents one of the most historically rich states in America but has also captured the attention of collectors across the globe, the New Hampshire state quarter from the year 2000. At first glance, it might just look like another piece of the 50 state quarters program, but once you take a closer look, you realize there's so much more to this coin than meets the eye. It's got a powerful design, an important backstory, and for the lucky few who find certain rare varieties or error strikes, it can be worth a staggering amount of money. So stay with me until the end, because you'll want to hear just how valuable one of these quarters can be. Let's start with a little background. New Hampshire, nicknamed the Granite State, was honored in the third year of the 50 state quarters program. This coin was officially released in the year 2000, and like every state quarter, it features a design chosen to represent the character and heritage of the state. For New Hampshire, the chosen image was the Old Man of the Mountain, a natural rock formation on Cannon Mountain that, for centuries, looked strikingly like the profile of a man's face. This famous symbol was so beloved that it became the official state emblem, appearing on road signs, license plates, and of course, the state quarter. On the reverse of the coin, you can see the craggy outline of the Old Man of the Mountain, along with the state motto, "Live free or die." Those words capture the spirit of independence that defines New Hampshire's identity and history. On the obverse is the familiar portrait of George Washington, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and United States of America. Together, the coin's design tells a powerful story of strength, resilience, and freedom, but while the symbolism is powerful, it's the rarity and unique minting errors that make the New Hampshire 2000 quarter a true prize for collectors. Millions of these coins were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but not all quarters are created equal. Some came out of the presses with fascinating flaws that turn them into one-of-a-kind rarities. Collectors have documented examples with doubled dies, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled because of a striking misalignment. Others have been found with off-center strikes, leaving a crescent of blank metal on one side. There are even broad strikes, where the coin spread out beyond its normal rim because the collar didn't hold it properly during minting. Perhaps most fascinating are those missing a clad layer, revealing a reddish copper surface instead of the standard silvery shine. Each of these errors makes a coin far scarcer and far more desirable in the collector's market. Condition plays an equally important role. Circulated New Hampshire quarters, those that have been in pockets, purses, and vending machines for decades, are usually only worth their face value. But if you happen to have one that was pulled from circulation early and kept in pristine, mint state condition, the story changes dramatically. High-grade examples, especially those professionally certified, can command serious premiums. And if that coin also happens to have a dramatic minting error, then you're holding something incredibly special. Another reason this coin is so attractive to collectors is its historical significance. The Old Man of the Mountain collapsed in 2003, just 3 years after the quarter was released. That means the coin has become a kind of memorial to a natural wonder that no longer exists. It forever preserves a symbol of New Hampshire that future generations will never see in person. This alone adds a layer of nostalgia and importance that drives collector interest. So, after learning all of this, the question is, just how much can a rare and valuable example of the New Hampshire 2000 state quarter be worth? The answer might surprise you. While most remain common, the rarest examples, those with dramatic errors or in the highest possible grade, have been valued at an astonishing $79,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $79,000 for a single quarter. That's the magic of coin collecting. Everyday objects can sometimes turn out to be priceless treasures. Top 4. We turn our attention to the year 2001 and one of the most celebrated designs from the state quarters program, the North Carolina state quarter dollar. At first it may seem like an ordinary coin, but when you take a closer look, you'll see why this piece has captured the imagination of collectors and why some rare examples are worth far more than their face value. The North Carolina quarter was the 12th release in the 50 state quarters program, a groundbreaking series that transformed coin collecting into a national pastime. By 2001, millions of Americans were already hooked, eagerly waiting for each new design. When the North Carolina quarter arrived, it immediately stood out because of its bold imagery and the history it celebrated. On the obverse, as always, you'll find George Washington's familiar profile, designed decades earlier by John Flanagan. But the reverse is where the magic lies. The North Carolina quarter commemorates one of the most important achievements in human history, the Wright brothers' first flight. The design shows the famous Wright flyer soaring into the sky above the sands of Kitty Hawk, with Orville Wright at the controls and his brother Wilbur running alongside. The inscription, "First Flight," proudly declares the state's place in aviation history. This design is not just beautiful, it's inspirational, reminding us how innovation and determination can change the world. Collectors appreciate the coin for more than its design. The year 2001 saw a massive production of state quarters, yet only a fraction of these North Carolina coins remain in pristine condition today. Most were used in daily transactions and quickly showed signs of wear. Finding one in flawless, uncirculated condition is rare, and when graded by professional services at the highest levels, these coins can command strong premiums. Even more exciting are the minting errors that make some North Carolina quarters unique. Some coins display double die errors, where parts of the lettering or details of the Wright flyer appear doubled under magnification. Others have off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted, creating a dramatic and collectible effect. Broad strikes, missing clad layers that reveal the copper core, and die cracks that form raised lines across the coin's surface are also known to exist. Each error tells its own story and makes the coin one of a kind, which collectors love. Proof versions of the North Carolina quarter, struck especially for collectors with mirror-like fields and frosted designs, also add another layer of interest. These coins were never meant for circulation, and high-grade proofs with deep cameo contrast are especially desirable. Some also develop attractive natural toning over time, with colors that range from soft gold to brilliant blue, adding to their uniqueness and value. What makes the North Carolina quarter particularly fascinating is how it captures both history and symbolism. It connects us to the dawn of powered flight, one of humanity's greatest achievements, while also being part of a program that brought millions of new collectors into the hobby. For coin enthusiasts, it's a piece that embodies both national pride and personal discovery. Imagine pulling one of these coins from an old collection or even from circulation, only to realize it's a rare variety or in mint condition. To most people, it's worth 25 cents, but to a collector it could be something far greater. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when the next coin you find will turn out to be a hidden gem. So how much can the rarest examples of the 2001 North Carolina state quarter be worth today? While the majority remain ordinary, the rarest and most extraordinary specimens, those with dramatic minting errors or pristine, high-grade preservation, have been known to sell for as much as $76,000, yes, $76,000 for a single quarter that might still be hiding in plain sight. So the next time you come across a North Carolina quarter, take a moment to study it closely. Look for errors, examine the condition, and remember the incredible story it tells. You might just be holding a treasure that carries both history and value far beyond what most people imagine. Top 5. We're going to sail into the story of a very special piece, the Rhode Island State Quarter from 2001. Don't be fooled by its ordinary appearance. This coin is packed with history, symbolism, and for collectors, the chance of uncovering something truly extraordinary. The Rhode Island State Quarter was released as part of the 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin initiatives in U.S. history. Each design highlighted the uniqueness of a state, and Rhode Island's coin captures the spirit of its maritime heritage. The reverse side of the coin features a beautifully detailed image of a sailboat gliding through Narragansett Bay, with the Pell Bridge in the background. Above it proudly reads, "The Ocean State," a nickname that perfectly sums up Rhode Island's strong connection to the sea. On the obverse side is the familiar portrait of George Washington, surrounded by inscriptions we've all come to know: Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and United States of America. While the obverse connects the coin to the long-standing quarter tradition, it's the reverse that sets the Rhode Island coin apart as a miniature work of art. But here's where things get exciting for collectors. While millions of Rhode Island quarters were minted in 2001, not all of them were created equal. In fact, the rarest and most unusual examples can be worth an astonishing amount of money. Why? Because of minting errors and condition. Let's talk about errors first. Some Rhode Island quarters left the mint with doubling on the lettering or design, known as double die errors. These make the words or parts of the sailboat appear slightly doubled to the naked eye, and collectors are always willing to pay a premium for them. Other examples have been found with off-center strikes, where the image is shifted noticeably to one side. Even more intriguing are broad strikes, where the coin was struck without the collar that usually holds its shape, creating a slightly larger and misshapen coin. And let's not forget coins missing a clad layer, where the shiny nickel coating didn't bond correctly, leaving behind a strange copper-colored surface. These kinds of mistakes make each coin unique, and uniqueness is exactly what collectors crave. Condition also plays a critical role. Most Rhode Island quarters that circulated through vending machines, cash registers, and pockets are only worth their face value. But those that were pulled from circulation early and preserved in pristine condition tell a very different story. Coins graded at the highest levels, with sharp details and flawless surfaces, can sell for impressive sums. Add in a rare error on top of that, and the value can climb to unbelievable heights. Another layer of appeal is the symbolism itself. Rhode Island, though the smallest state in the nation, has a massive identity tied to the ocean. This coin captures that with elegance, making it one of the most beloved designs in the entire program. Collectors often seek it out not just for its rarity, but for the story it tells, of sailing, freedom, and the proud maritime traditions of New England. It's also worth remembering that the State Quarters program introduced millions of people to coin collecting for the very first time. Many families saved these coins straight from pocket change, storing them in folders or albums. But hidden among those everyday pieces are treasures most people never realized they had. So now the big question: what could a rare Rhode Island 2001 State Quarter be worth today if you're lucky enough to have one with the right error or in perfect condition? The answer is absolutely astonishing. The most desirable examples of this coin have been valued as high as $73,000, yes, $73,000 for a single State Quarter. That's the thrill of this hobby, knowing that even a coin you've overlooked for years might turn out to be a hidden gem worth a fortune. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on this journey into the Rhode Island State Quarter. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a chance to learn about more coins that could be worth big money. And as always, keep checking your change, because the next valuable treasure could be right in your hands.